Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Omega Ruby for the Legendary Pokemon block. Yes, all this week is going to be nothing but Legendaries. I swear it won't get boring, I promise. The first one we're heading for is Ho-Oh, and in Omega Ruby, he is an Omega Ruby exclusive, you can find him on the Old Morval, or the Sea Morval, one of the two. It's Morval-tastic either way.
We're fighting Ho-Oh and Ho-En. I'm pretty sure that's not a coincidence.
Poor Ho-Oh, he's never been the star of a movie. It was all about Lugia.
That's true. Lugia gets way more press than Ho-Oh for some reason. Ho-Oh is only, like, the first Pokemon Ash has ever seen in, like, the wild, so...
Well, no, the first legendary he ever saw.
Well, close enough, you know what I mean.
I think, like, the first wild one he ever saw was, well, if he looked out his window, he would have seen that Dodrio, I guess, like, cacoring and the like.
Do they have Dodrios wake you up in the morning in the Pokemon world, I wonder? Dodrio!
I'd have to take a shotgun to shut the fuck up.
Okay, that's like a, some warp ring from some anime. I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was, but I can't.
Yeah, he's very prepared for these commentaries, as you can tell. That's one of Hooper's rings. He'll be causing shenanigans in, well, I guess at the time of this recording, the latest Pokemon movie.
So I like how Ho-Oh basically just dropped out of the sky unceremoniously. It's just like, I'm here. What do you guys want?
That's what Hooper does. He pulls Pokemon legendaries, even, from other dimensions.
See, yeah, because, well, with this Hoopa business and the, earlier stuff we learned about there being multiple dimensions now within the Pokemon universe, I have a feeling that's really going to kind of ramp up with all these remakes, and I really hope they do something out of it rather than just kind of have it on the side as a fact.
Game Freak, continue to build upon established mechanics. You're having a laugh.
Yeah, I know, it sucks to make sense, but I have to deal with that every day, I guess.
Gotta love the Quick Ball RNG, by the way. I did a few takes. That was one of the lucky ones. The rest of the time, it's like, no, I don't want to be caught. No. Okay, moving on. Let's take back to the skies with the Eon Flute. We're gonna head to one of the small islands around here, and I hope you have 3 Pokemon on your team with max effort values, or you won't be seeing dick.
I think, what we really kind of missed an opportunity here, actually, when we were doing this whole Ho-Oh business. We should have had, like, a dogfight with Latias, against Ho-Oh. That would have been awesome.
Uh-huh. It's legendary enough for me, let's catch it.
Sure, okay.
I was tempted to name this one Helldragon, I'm not gonna lie.
I love how Pikachu is floating on, apparently he's airbending down there. That's the only way he's able to stay up.
I don't sky battle all that much, obviously, since, the sky battle was only important in X and Y, so I never really paid attention to what they were standing on.
Well, okay, Braviary doesn't have to stand, technically, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, fuck you, I don't feel like playing around with you today.
Sure.
The Ultra Ball is just the quintessential fuck you, I got things to do button.
Right, let's name him something silly and be moving on. We got a lot of ground to cover today.
Well, don't worry, there's a lot of silly things you can call Americans because they repeated that joke 400 fucking times all over the internet, and I'm sure now it will remain just as funny as it was then.
Oh yeah, because Americans are the only ones who get made fun of on the internet. Boo-hoo, cry me a fucking river.
Well, I don't know, I'm just saying our jokes probably work better.
What did I call this guy? I've actually forgotten.
I guess we'll find out in a moment. Something predictable, I trust.
Oh, Ursa. There we go.
That's like a bear, isn't it?
No, that's Ursa, mate.
Oh, well, close enough. It's a sky bear.
Okay, now, like I said, you're going to need 3 Pokemon with max effort values, EVs, on your team, and then you can go to the Pathless Plain, and depending on what day of the week you've decided to come here, and no, I'm not looking at Cerebi, why do you ask, you'll find one of 3 Pokemon, either Cobalion, Terrakion, or Verizon. I always call it like Verizon, after the internet provider. The one we're going to be finding here is Virizion, and you can find him on Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah, these are like the legendary, like, sword dogs or whatever. Like, they were supposed to be based on the 3 Musketeers, is why I call them sword dogs.
Yeah, the Musketeers, with, I think, Keldeo being, like, the 4th guy, whose name I always forget.
the Targan, I think that's who he's supposed to be based off of. Like, he's the fourth one.
Feel free to correct us, guys. And by the way, love this music. This is the Gen 5 Legendary theme.
You know, Verizon... I'm gonna call him Verizon now. And you know, Verizon here isn't really that bad of a design. I kind of like the crest he's got going on top of his head. He looks pretty elegant.
I've just never liked the Musketeer, like, trio in Gen 5, honestly.
Well, I mean, I can see where it can be an acquired taste. No, I have no idea why a four-legged animal who doesn't have a weapon can do sword-based attacks, but that's just me.
Well, they're sticking with the Musketeer theme, I guess. It's grass and fighting, just like your favourite Pokemon, Breloom.
Yeah, well, I don't care if you're stuck in Magican, I'm still gonna fucking burn the place down.
Yeah, it's just like that one stage in Smash 4.
Nicely done.
Love how it all goes Japanesey for a second.
As long as they don't turn Japanese, that's the last thing we need.
Ultra Ball, go!
It sounded like the music back there was kind of winding down and then winding back up, like the audio quality was kind of conking out.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's like do.
Oh man, turn the crank faster so the music can play.
That's 2 legendary Pokemon so far, just in case you're not keeping track.
So does Hoopa have anything better to do than to just, like, fuck with us all day? Because I know that might be its thing, but you would think it could use its fucking around towards a particular purpose.
No, he's just a naughty little djinn, or genie, for his western Baka-gaijins.
I just know he goes, like, super metal, hardcore, when he goes into his super form in the movie, so...
he looks like a fucking mega-level Digimon. It's actually kind of endearing.
Yeah, so don't fuck with Hoopa, I guess.
Alright, now we're heading to the Nameless Cavern, which you can find near Sutopolis, and you're going to need 3 Pokemon with max happiness on your team. And these 3, I want to say Pixie/Fairy trio from Gen 4, you know, Uxie, Mispirit, or Azelf, they'll appear at different times of the day. You have, let's see here, Uxie, who appears between 8 and 9 at night, Azelf, which can be found between 9 and 3:59 for some reason, and Mespirit, which can be found between 4 and 9... Sorry, I'm getting my times mixed up here. Between 4 and 19:59, you know, 7:59. I believe we're going for Uxie here, so let's do it.
I like that pattern on the floor before it gets to the battle. That was kind of done with water. It kind of looked like a monster from Space Invaders, so thank you for that reference.
Hey, I was completely wrong. It was Azel, so good job, Tom, remembering the footage that you yourself recorded.
Nicely done. Only quality here at Hellfire Commentaries.
Never really cared for this trio, not gonna lie. I like Dialga, I like Palkia, and just as an aside, you're gonna need all 3 of these little fairy/pixie things to make your version exclusive appear. In Omega Ruby, it's Palkia, and I know that off by heart because I got Dialga in Alpha Sapphire, and he was a fucking pig to catch.
I don't know, I think my favorite Pixie-based legendary is probably Celebi, even though that's technically cheating, but whatever.
Celebi, not available in Auras, for whatever reason.
That's weird, why?
I don't know, like Darkrai's not available either, Jirachi's not available. They did the good thing of like making the previously event-only Pokemon Deoxys non-event. You know, he's part of the story, I'm not going to say where. But no, they kind of dropped the ball on the other 3.
I'm done, I'm calm, it's cool. How are you doing, Golem? Sorry I freaked out a little bit back there.
I'm loving the bass in this theme. We're probably going to be here a while, so you got anything to say about this particular Pokemon?
I don't know why it has 2 tails. There's like a Pokemon walking around, he's got a very bare butt, and he could be using a tail to cover that up, but no, Azelf's gotta hog both of them. I don't even know why. Is he afraid the first one's gonna break and he needs a backup? Does he even need them to balance? That's my question.
I see that comedy training you've been putting in has finally paid off.
Well, I'm not sure about the comedy part of it. These are just things I notice.
Come on, RNG. Papa needs a new pair of shoes.
And if only we can get the RNG in Pokemon games to work for us in terms of gambling.
Really, the RNG it's so finicky, because like I said earlier, you can catch Ho with 1 Quick Ball, or you can catch him with 40 Ultra Balls. It doesn't matter if he's in the red or not. If the game does not want you to catch him at that point, you're not catching him. Get over it.
Well, I mean, the quick ball is designed to be used first thing, though, right?
I would have got timer balls, but you have to, like, speak to a scientist, and then you have to buy them from Rustborough, so I'd just rather go to Fall Arbiton and get quick balls.
Yeah, that sounds like work. Fuck that noise.
Why do you even play video games? It doesn't seem like you like them very much.
Well, clearly we're all here for one reason. It's not because we fucking like what we're doing.
I love that ad revenue. Stay in the fucking ball. Oh, thank you.
You'll all get Stockholm Syndrome together, don't worry, when I get your brothers.
Well, basically, I asked Mexi if I could just borrow Dialga and Palkia to unlock another legendary, or Giratina, you'll see him in the next part, just to speed things up, because I didn't want to have to recatch these fuckers again.
It'd be funny if you told that story and then you ended it with, and MEM said no. And that's it.
That'd be weird, like in the alternate dimension that we've been talking about. Mexi said no, I guess.
Yeah, in the alternate dimension, well, what would they do in the alternate dimension? Would they not remake this game? Would there just be like a huge fan following of people playing the original Ruby and Sapphire for the ad money, of course? Because that doesn't change across dimensions, you see. Money controls everything.
Okay, for this next Pokemon, we're going to need like another trigger kind of mon. So we're going to head back to the Weather Institute to pick up a Pokemon we callously left behind before, Cast Form.
Oh, you're finally gonna go get that cast form, huh?
They might as well have some use in this playthrough.
Like you go see it and it just gives you a look, you left me, daddy.
I'm sorry, you've got balls on your chin, it unnerves me.
Yeah, daddy didn't know how to deal with that, sorry.
What do you think about Hoenn at night?
It looks pretty nice, and like I said before, I do love the ability to kind of just fly over the entirety of the world map. Like that world, quote-unquote.
Quotation mark, yeah. The island map, per se. They should just let you do that from, like, after you get your first badge. Because it's not like you can land anywhere you haven't already visited, so you're not breaking the game, per se.
I suppose, but it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to, like, you, like, fly up into the sky. Okay, you have to hit these particular areas because I'm still under curfew at the moment, so... Just sleep in a stranger's bed, I'm sure they won't question anything. Why do they have beds at the Weather Institute, I wonder? Do scientists stay overnight? Maybe they do.
Well, maybe they've cranked science so hard during the night that they just need a bit of a lie down. You know, you ever think of that?
Now let's get this useless piece of shit, put him back in the box.
Goodbye, spooky fart, we knew you well. Working hard or hardly working?
Well, I'm definitely wasting my time on Facebook if you're gonna be asking that.
Yeah, he's posting weather updates there instead of doing his job.
Yeah, get that social media presence for the weatherman. You know, that's really what's needed.
I've just been standing here for like 20 parts. Where have you been?
Now I can finally go home and he just vanishes.
He ascends. Oh, it can change different forms depending on what weather it is. Mass amounts of research right there.
Yeah, let's just hope it doesn't rain snails. That would be problematic.
If you speak to the receptionist, you can get an icy rock. Might come in handy later, down the line, but for the time being, now that we have Cast Form, a new, like, rift in space and time is going to open up, and we can go fight one of the Jinn, you know, the genie things, Tornadus or Thundurus. I believe Thundurus is exclusive to Omega Ruby, whereas you get Tornadus in Alpha Sapphire. If you have both, then Landorus opens up, and they're going to be on your team, by the way, but we're just going to get Thundurus in this little block here.
Yeah, I saw this for a minute, and I thought, is that like a fucking sky fortress? No, it's just a cloud.
Lawrence III is back to wreak his terrible vengeance.
That would be the worst thing. Don't do that.
Oh, it's Tornadus. Man, I'm just getting everything wrong today. Okay, Tornadus exclusive to Omega Ruby, Thundurus, Alpha Sapphire. I mean, the fucker's blue. I should have seen that coming. Tornadus, obviously, unique for being the very first flying-only Pokemon. It is strictly just a flying type.
You'd think they would have gotten around to doing that sooner, but I guess not.
Like, everyone was expecting it to be like a bird, and when I say everyone, I mean people on, like, V and NeoGAF, you know, just a very small
That's
subset.
pretty much everyone, yeah.
Just a very small subset of the internet. He's okay, I guess. You know, I can't hold it against him for not being a giant bird. I think his, like, other form is just a single bird, you know, it's weird. You look through a seeing glass or something and they change forms.
Yeah, I've never been a really big fan of the Jin trio. I always thought they looked kind of stupid, personally. The other forms don't really help either.
Yeah, it is a bird. The Ferian form, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that one's a bird, that one's a plane. I don't want to know what the other one is.
Well, I got my bird-only, super-de-duper flying type dream realized in some form, I guess.
Listen, I'm not putting up with this shit today. I'm just very disappointed. Just folds his arms, shakes his head.
Yeah, all the Jin, they're like perpetually disappointed in the trainer for trying to catch him.
Well, it's kind of like a lamp when you think about it.
And boom.
Fortunately, we can't wish for him to kill somebody because that is against the Jin code.
Ah, son of a bitch. Well, we'll just have to wrestle power the old-fashioned way through cockfighting.
How do rocks level up?
Carefully.
I suppose.
Well, he's a lot more fleshy now than he was before, and I think we're retreading old jokes and ground at this point in time, so I shall bid you all adieu, and we shall see you next time in the Omega Ruby post-game, when we capture a few more legendaries. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Peace out.